But if like you have a little group that you can depend on and that you can work with over time, and I think it really brings a whole other layer of meaning to your college experience. And like you said, Aggies, like that's like a huge, like that's like why I came here, right? Aggies. Classes come and go, but I feel like orgs stay with you.
This is On Air with Student Affairs. I'm your host, Elizabeth Drake, and today we'll be talking about finding your fit at Club Crawl. A fun fact about Texas A&M is we actually have over 1,300 registered student organizations on campus. So there truly is a place for everyone to pursue their passions. And today we have some of those students here with us to talk a little bit about their Aggie experiences. So to start off, I'd love to hear a little bit about why each of you decided to come to A&M.
Okay, well, my name is Raelyn. Most people tend to just call me Ray, though. I'm actually from California, the Los Angeles area, and I think part of what drew me to Texas A&M, especially like as a California student, given outside the fact that I wanted to go out of state, that was like the goal. I really was drawn to the whole community behind A&M. I feel like it really is true. Like no matter where you go, you kind of find Aggies everywhere. I mean, I've seen Aggies at Disneyland. Like, and they're doing like the gig-em, and like I've seen them at airports. Like, I have like people who've seen them like international. Like my whole family is all like, "Oh, guess what, Raelyn? We saw Aggies today," and I was like, "Wow!" Like, and I think that's part of it. The community on campus, outside of campus, and the whole world. I think that's something that really drew me.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Joshua, and I came to A&M mostly just because I've been surrounded by Aggies my whole life. I'm born and raised in Houston, Texas, moved all around the country, from Arizona, Wisconsin, everywhere, because my dad was in the Army. And everywhere I've gone, there's been Aggies, and we've followed Aggie football, Aggie baseball, Aggie pretty much everything. So it was pretty natural to go to A&M. Albeit I only applied to A&M. Was that the wisest decision? Probably not, but it was a good decision because I came here. So,
yeah, it really is such a community here at Texas A&M that they don't really have everywhere else. So when did you guys decide to get involved with student organizations, and why?
For me, it was not really a decision to make. I felt like something that it was just there. Like I always wanted to do it, and I planned to make the most of my time here. I didn't want to just like focus on academics. Like I really wanted to find my people. Like I said, out of state, I came with nobody, essentially. I knew nobody. So getting to be a part of orgs was really important to me to develop as a person and just kind of fill my time and create some meaningful impact somehow.
To tie into what she said, and you can get an education anywhere, but you can only find the Aggies at A&M. Like I could have just stayed in my dorm, off-campus housing, 4 years, done pretty good in school, 4.0, but I wouldn't have gotten that college experience. And throughout the student orgs I've been in, it's been incredible. I've met some of my best friends and have made connections that I couldn't find anywhere else in the world had I looked as hard as I did.
Obviously, you both have a passion for Aggie involvement. What are you guys involved in?
Well, I'm involved in the Texas A&M Fencing Club, and am the social media manager of that, and am trying to get involved in medical journaling at A&M at the moment.
Nice. That's really cool, actually. Aggie Habitat for Humanity, that's my main organization right now, but I'm also in another pre-med org, and then something that's more tied into my major, chemistry, as well.
How did you guys find out about your organizations?
Well, I found about mine through Club Crawl, actually, or formerly MSC Open House, and I remember just like going through the list, and I was like, Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah.
They have one here. Like, I have to go there. Like, I have to go to that table. I have to see what they got. And from there, it just kind of blossomed. Like, I saw it, I went for it, and here I am now.
Yeah, I can totally relate. I found a lot of student orgs through Club Crawl. What about you?
I found mine through Instagram at the start because I was looking for something, didn't really know what I wanted, so started off with something I thought was cool, which was trap and ski, and then looked, suggested for you, oh, fencing team, hey. And so I saw that. I wrote it down. I'm like, this is cool. And then I saw them at the rec center whenever they had an open house for that. You got to poke people with the swords. It was great. They have a lot of fun there. But at MSC Open House or Club Crawl, I got to talk to them more and learn about what they had to offer, how to join, what to do. And it was all very informative.
So I know we talked a little bit about being welcomed into the fencing community with not a whole lot of fencing experience. What about you? What was it like coming into the Habitat for Humanity community? Did you have previous experience with that?
I did not. No one in my family is anything construction. Like, I don't even think I've been to a construction site ever in my life before Habitat. But I've learned quite a bit of skills. Like, I don't know what the machine is called, but like there's like this big saw and like you put it down and like you cut some baseboard. Like I did that. I know how to like baseboard. You like put your the nail gun in. I know how to caulk, put drywall. And Taos, they have Adobe style houses, so it's a little different. We use something called stucco. I'm not sure if anyone's familiar, but like we had to like, it's like this like, it's like almost like paint or something. It's not paint. I don't know the word, but like we had to like spread it across the walls and like we had people up on scaffolding, like just, it's a great experience just learning all those skills. I don't know if I'll ever use them again, but just to say that like I did that, I think is very cool.
Yeah, and you were welcomed in with open arms, even though you hadn't had previous experience, both of you guys.
Yeah, I feel like that's a huge misconception that you have to like know some fencing or like you have to know how to build or do anything really. And that's not true at all. I feel like for almost any club, like you go in and they'll teach you all of it.
Yeah, I think that's a great message for people of that really people just want you to join their community and learn and stuff. You don't have to have any experience. Like they just want you as you are. So can you tell us a little bit more about what it's like to be in a student org? Like what does all of it entail?
Aggie Habitat for Humanity, we are the campus chapter of the Bryan College Station Habitat for Humanity. So what that means for us essentially is we get direct contact with them and we get to go out and help at their restore, which is kind of like a Goodwill Salvation Army, but it has like furniture and school supplies and stuff like that. You can actually find a lot of things there. And then we also go and help build houses. Like that's part of like what I feel like allures people the most about Habitat for Humanity. Like I've learned how to do some crazy stuff. I mean, my name is written on the wooden like foundations of a house somewhere. I mean, like that's kind of crazy to me. And then lately we've also been trying to do a lot more like trying to get our members to know each other as well. And that's the social aspect. And I think that's part of why I stayed. Like after my first year, like I didn't just get to do community service and like make tangible impacts. I made a lot of friends and like friends that we do game nights with or cook dinner with. And I think that's a huge part of why I love it so much. It's a community for not just service. It's my community in college.
Yeah, so you're really getting to pursue service, but you're also got this social network from it as well.
Yes, and it's crazy because I'm a chemistry major, so my day-to-day classes, I don't really interact with a lot of anyone outside of biology, chemistry, biomedical sciences, but Aggie Habitat got a lot of engineering. We've got a lot of architecture, construction science, and I think it's really cool to be able to diversify like who I know because of that.
Yeah, it really speaks to the community that drew you to A&M.
Yes.
What about you?
So the fencing team, our main thing we do is we go to practice weekly and we participate in tournaments called SWIFA, which is an intercollegiate tournament for Olympic fencing. There are 3 different weapons in fencing and we split them evenly in training throughout the week. And we practice for these tournaments so we can go up against schools like UT Dallas, UT Austin, Baylor University, Oklahoma University on occasion, which is strange because they travel very far for it. But the point is we train against these organizations, and in that training, we build community because we help lift each other up through giving each other tips, helping each other train, giving each other drills. And we go to team dinner afterwards on Thursdays, and it's a really unique bonding experience through athletics because you're struggling alongside someone and bringing each other up while doing it. It really helps make you both stronger people as opposed to if you were just training alone.
Obviously, community has been a huge takeaway from both of your Aggie experiences, but what is your favorite part of being in your organizations?
Is the joy from the payoff that you get from your training. And because we host these tournaments, or we go to these tournaments 4 times a year, so we have weeks upon weeks upon weeks of finding our flaws, fixing them, improving training stamina, doing all this hard work. And your reward is to win. And not only can you win, but you may lose, but you'll lose less than you did last time, or you'll realize there's more for you to work on. And no matter what happens, the fact that you saw yourself work, improve, and get a result is a really good feeling that I haven't found anywhere else before.
Did you know how to fence before this, or is this like your first time like fencing?
I did not. I did like a 2-week class back in 7th grade. And so I had fencing on my mind slightly. I'm like, okay, well, fencing exists. But I was just looking for a club, and then I saw fencing, and I'm like, hey, I'll try it out, because, it was free to try out. It happened to fit in my schedule, and I loved it. It was incredible.
So it's a really welcoming environment. Anyone can come join.
Absolutely, yeah. We offer free beginners nights. You can just show up, try it out. If you'd like it, stick around. If you don't like it, you don't have to.
That's awesome. How do you find out about that? Through the social media?
Yeah, you can find us on Aggie Fencing on Instagram or TikTok, where I've been posting a bunch of entertaining reels and stuff, but also a lot of informative things about where to find us. But we also host MSC Open House Club Crawl, as we've been talking about, where we have our officers there to give information about what we do, to find us, and just all sorts of good information about us.
If you wanted to get involved with Habitat for Humanity, how would you do it?
Well, we also have an Instagram there too. Oh, I think it's at Aggie Habitat. I don't manage the social media. That's not my job. But we do also have a website that's Aggieland Habitat, and you can find information on everything that we do there, our fundraisers that we have, how to get involved. Of course, you could always come out to us at Club Crawl. I mean, I feel like that's where we get our biggest amount of people that come in. No matter what, throughout the year, I feel like we'd always love to have people. I mean, we're here for a good cause, and we want to do it together. So the more people, the greater the impact.
Yeah, it's great how welcoming and open that so many organizations on campus are to bring new students in. What do you think is the most memorable moment or memory that you'll take away when you graduate from your time in organizations?
So Aggie Habitat, we do this thing every year called Collegiate Challenge. And after the spring semester, we go out of state. And we travel and we go build houses there for a week. And that alone is probably the experience of my life. Not even just college. It's just breathtaking. We've done the ones that I've been on is we've went to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We've been to Taos, New Mexico, and we drive there. So being in each other's car together for hours on end, and then trying to figure out where to eat, and then trying to grocery shop, and then trying to carpool and just everything like that, and all the activities that we do. We climbed a mountain in Taos, which was scary,
Wow.
but it was so fun. But just being together in a group and getting to build houses and make a lasting impact, not just in our local community, and then at the same time making memories together, it's unforgettable, truly, and I can't recommend it more to anybody than to find a community that you can do that with.
Yeah, you've really found your place with them. That's awesome.
I love it.
What about you?
Well, for me, it would have to be one of the SWIFA competitions we hosted here last year. We were in the finals for foil, and it was us against Texas State. And it was late at night. We were about to get kicked out of the rec center, actually. But everyone was just crowding and surrounding this strip, which had these fencers fencing on it. But the most memorable part was not the destination, but the journey. I say that because we didn't end up winning. But the point is, as a team, we were chanting and cheering all for the same thing. We were doing Aggie war hymns, Aggie chants, and all of these people on the fencing team, they're all completely different ages, all completely different majors. We have freshman math majors all the way up to grad students on their 5th year doing aerospace engineering. There's no consistency in it, but that's beautiful because there's so much consistency in how much we are all for each other to see each other win. And you can see this all in when we drive to places like Texas State and all that, because we carpool and we're, bickering and yelling at each other in the car because we're trying to, tell someone they're doing something wrong and they don't believe it and yada, yada, yada. But it's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's a brotherhood, and I wouldn't trade them for anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it feels like this is like y'all's family here at Texas A&M. It's just really a community. So let's talk a little bit about Club Crawl now, formerly known as MSC Open House. What has been y'all's experiences with Club Crawl?
It is packed, but in a good way. I had to host one of the booths for MSC Open House at one point, and man, even finding my booth was a struggle. It's so packed, but that's a good thing because like throughout the maze that becomes the MSC at that time, you get to see so many unique clubs you wouldn't have even thought about. Like I saw Habitat for Humanity. I saw one specializing in picking up trash around campus. I saw one all about horses. If you love horses, there's a club for you. Just know that. But the point is, there's so many clubs that you end up finding out about that you wouldn't have even thought about that are at these places had you not gone to Club Crawl.
Yeah. What about you?
I love it. I love Club Crawl. Even though I'm not actively like looking for anything to join anymore, I love it. Like I think just seeing probably thousands of like people like kind of just like stacked into like one singular building and one singular hallway, like it's even hard to like take a step forward. And I think that it's so great that everyone comes together and, like everyone's like trying to do something different. Like people are looking for something to do. Nobody's really interested in like the same one thing. Like everybody's like, really looking for what works for them, whether it be horses or fencing. I talked to ballroom dancing, West Coast swing. There's just so much you can do. And I don't know how else to say it other than that. It's like, it feels pretty limitless.
Yeah.
Like there's just like, they're everywhere, and in a good way, they're everywhere. And yeah, and being on the other side of it, I think it's more fun. I love talking. I love talking about my org, and people say I end up talking too long to them, but I think it's a good opportunity to kind of like show what we're about. And
no, I love it. You're passionate about your organization. And I think what you said about it being limitless, like there really is so many options for everyone. And it's really cool what you had shared with us about like it's packed when you go. Like it truly is. It's crazy that now it's even spread outside of the MSC. And we've got people in Rudder Plaza and we've got people out on the drill field. Like there's so many people there who want to share their experience with you and bring you in. It's incredible. How would you describe the environment in Club Crawl to a student who's never been?
I would say imagine Comic-Con, but they're not trying to sell you stuff. They're trying to get you to join their org, if that makes sense. Because everyone's in their unique clothes for their club. We have a friend we have a member of the Kendo club. He's actually the president of the Kendo club, and he's in fencing. So we could see him passing out flyers in his Kendo outfit. Judo was throwing people. So it's so much fun because you get to see all these unique, different types of people, and it's a lot of fun.
yeah, basically what he said, honestly, maybe it could be overwhelming at first. I know I definitely was, but as soon as you start to go talk to people, it becomes more of like, wow, more than, oh. But I think everyone has all those feelings, like, especially if they come for the first time.
Yeah, no, I think like you guys said, like it can be a little scary at first to put yourself out there and go to this event with so many people, but there is so many advantages about going to Club Crawl. What would you guys say some of those are?
I think it's a great opportunity to kind of see a face rather than an Instagram profile.
Yeah.
I think like if you have that opportunity to go like talk to them face to face and see, I feel like it takes away from, I don't know, it might just be me. I get more nervous, I think, contacting people online like through social media, because especially through accounts, like I don't know who I'm talking to behind that Aggie Habitat account. I don't know who's going to get this email. I feel like if they're right there, I can be like, oh, it's you. Like I recognize you now. And it kind of builds like a precedent, like a relationship that you can build off of, so that the transition, I feel like, goes a little easier.
Yeah, a great opportunity to make like an in-person human connection.
I have to agree with her on this because when I was hosting MSc Open House, I ran into hundreds of students who were, just looking for something to do, hundreds of athletic students. I come from an athletic background, so I'm very familiar and conversational about these things. And one guy was a boxer. And so I was able to talk to him about boxing and form this connection and connect it to fencing. And so now he's a member of the club. I ran into him. I didn't remember his name, to be completely honest, because there were hundreds of people that day. But I remembered him as, hey, you're the guy who likes boxing, right? And so I was able to rekindle that connection. So going in person to form that human connection with people, I think is really one of the best parts of Club Crawl because you cannot replicate it anywhere else.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think it's a really great opportunity to meet people. On top of that, what tips would you give to students who might be afraid of rejection or approaching organizations in person?
I would say A&M is a huge school. It is roughly 5,200 acres with about 75,000 students. And I say that to say this, nobody will remember if you are slightly awkward when going to a table. No one's going to remember if you're slightly awkward bumbling through, trying to find a club to join. Your mistakes don't matter. College is all about trying new things. You're not going to remember in 4 years if you accidentally dropped a flyer at MSc Open House, but you will remember in 4 years if you made the best friends of your life at a club that you found here.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's the memories that you're going to remember 20 years from now, not the small stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree. And I know everybody says this, but people say it because it's true, like you miss every shot that you don't take. Like you like might miss like all these opportunities that are just like laying in front of you across the hallways. Like there's just, you got to go for it. And even if like you don't want to do it now, you can do it later. I mean, this isn't something that you have to dedicate yourself to like at this moment.
No, yeah. So why should students get involved at A&M? I know we've touched on it a little, but what's one thing you would tell them of why you should get involved?
Well, I would ask if someone came to A&M and said, oh, I don't want to get involved. Frankly, I would ask, why did you come to A&M? Because A&M has the Aggies. We have the community. You can get an education anywhere. And I sound like a broken record, but you can only find the Aggies here at A&M. Getting involved helps build those connections because, yeah, you may find friends in classes, but those will be more acquaintances than anything. Where you'll find your true connections and your lasting friends outside of college are going to be in these orgs where you're vulnerable and working hard and helping build each other up.
Yeah, it's really about creating that experience and finding it.
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree. I mean, we've said that A&M is a huge school, and I mean, if you put everybody in like a piece of paper and like everyone represented a dot, like you're a very, 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 very small dot.
Yeah.
So I think rather like going through it alone in a big sea of people, I feel like does nothing for you. But if like you have a little group that you can depend on and that you can work with over time, and I think it really brings a whole other layer of meaning to your college experience. And like you said, Aggies, like that's like a huge, like that's like why I came here, right? Aggies. Classes come and go, but I feel like orgs stay with you for years to come. I mean, like who can say like that you did fencing in college? Like you can whip that out at like in like 20 years and be like, oh yeah, I know how to do this. Like I feel like that's something that you can't get just by going to school and that's it.
Yeah. I think we can all agree that there's so much value in getting involved at Texas A&M and finding your people. What advice would you give to students who are looking to get involved next semester?
Go to Club Crawl. And then if you see anything you're interested in, anything at all, like even the tiniest little bit, go and talk. Go talk to them, ask your questions, write down when they're meeting, and go from there. See if it works in your schedule. And if it doesn't, next semester, next year, you can put it in your back pocket. I think just put yourself out there. Like, that's the very first step that you can take, and it could pay off hugely.
Yeah.
My advice would be, don't be afraid to try something and fail. And I'm saying this because throughout my early life, I was someone who was very afraid to try and fail. Going into college, I was determined to change that. And so I found a multitude of clubs I was interested in, like blacksmithing club, boxing club, all these different things. And just some of them just didn't stick, but I wasn't afraid to admit that, hey, this won't stick. And you're really not going to find what you truly love unless you're okay to try and try and try again. And that's the beauty of Club Crawl, because there's an infinite number of opportunities to try and try and try again, because there's all these clubs. Don't like a club, go to the next one. Don't like a club, go to the next one. If you do like it, maybe stick around, maybe give it a deeper shot.
Yeah, I really resonate with what you said, because, I mean, there really is no harm in trying and exploring and learning more. So completely agree with that advice. So when in y'all's college experiences did you get involved with your organizations?
I got involved starting my freshman year, honestly, within a month of coming to A&M, mainly because I was thinking of joining something in the summer leading up to that, but Club Crawl is conveniently located at the start of the school year, and they were very inviting to freshmen, so I decided to join and stick around then.
I'm the same thing. It was also my first semester, freshman year. I was pretty determined to find something.
Yeah, it's great that Club Crawl does fall at the beginning of each semester, because whether you're an incoming freshman who wants to get involved, or maybe you're a sophomore or later and you want to get involved with more stuff, like there's a lot of opportunities throughout the year to find out more about the organizations on campus. So what was y'all's motivation to get involved from the get-go when you came to Texas A&M?
Well, my plan was medical school from the start, and medical school really likes when you find an organization and stick to it, but it wasn't just so I could look good on paper. It was also because I was in cross country during high school, and I'd made some lifelong friends in there. And I knew that I would want to do the same in college, because A&M would be a great school to find great people. And so bringing that athletic drive with me that I had in high school, I found various number of clubs that fit me. But the fencing club is the one that I stuck around with.
So you're really wanting to grow off of that community that you had in high school.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
What about you?
I feel like I reference this a lot, but I think that's just a big part of like who I am here and out of state. So I really wanted to make sure that I made the most of going here. Like, my family was like super supportive back home of me coming here and, you know, trying to like do things on my own. And I guess I wanted to like prove that I could. And I mean, obviously, like, we're both pre-health as well, so that's another thing. Get me and find your orgs. But I mentioned earlier that Habitat, I like spotted it and I went there. I actually wanted to do it since high school, so it was like really great that they had like a college chapter as well. But I guess the whole question, we're talking about internal motivation, right? For me, I think it was mainly just, again, making sure that I took advantage. Like,
Yeah.
A&M's a huge school. We've got a lot of stuff. I don't think I expected to be Club Crawl to be as huge as it did. And I saw that. I was like, okay, you know what? Like, let's get to work. Like, let's get started.
Yeah. You really wanted to find your place here.
Yeah, it's huge. Like, I feel like Club Crawl is like one of like the biggest places where you can find your place as well. I feel like it's a little harder to do that anywhere else.
Yeah, no, great opportunity to take advantage of. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today to share a little bit about your Aggie experience. And if you want to attend Club Crawl, it is January 18th from 1 to 5. Thanks, and gig 'em.